Morning. I'd now like to call this meeting to order and ask that you please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Council Member Ms. Caroline Hennigan.
Father, your word says that the heart of man plans his ways, but the Lord establishes his steps. And so, Father, today as we go about the business of Orange, Texas, we pray that you will establish our steps today, so that your blessings shall never cease for this city. And Lord, we pray for our country and our nation, and our world that becomes increasingly unstable, that you will establish our steps in every way. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Oops.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hennigan. Item 3, motion finding that the advance posting and notice requirements of Article 8.1200 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas have been met in relation to all minutes and pending ordinances and resolutions on this agenda, and that the reading of such items be confined to the captions as are agreed upon by the ordinances and resolutions. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Item 4, citizen comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for each speaker. Your comments are appreciated, as the Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to respond to items not listed on the agenda. Your comments will be duly noted by the council and forwarded to the appropriate department for prompt consideration. A member of the audience that desires to speak during the City Council's consideration of any specific agenda item is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. Right now, the only name we have is Ms. Penny Lulu. Please come to the podium, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Penny Lulu, 9227 Cajun Way, Orange, Texas. Good morning, Mayor,
Good morning.
Council members, and all. I came to y'all 18 months ago to tell y'all about a kind of a wild idea I had and a plan. And I thought the first meeting of the year might be a good time to give you an update on that. That plan was to create a short film using local talent and locations and all, to submit that film to film festivals and to try to promote our area as film friendly and see if we could maybe get some filmmakers to come this direction. Well, and of course COVID has kind of put a kibosh on a lot of things, but that still hasn't stopped us. We have actually had some success, and I wanted to let y'all know about that. Now, COVID has caused most film festivals to either cancel or go virtual this year, but we have actually been able to be part of 4. We actually made the quarterfinals of the Stage 32 film, short film contest. Stage 32 is actually the LinkedIn, Facebook equivalent for the industry, so we're kind of happy about that one. We've also received some certificates of excellence for editing, cinematography, music, sound design, and production design. So that's pretty cool too. But we actually hit pay dirt with what my main goal was in New York, that we've actually screened online in 2 in San Francisco and 1 in New York. And in New York, we basically caught the eye of a filmmaker, a small independent from Lyon, France. And so we have been in discussions and pre-production planning the last 2 months that, you know, things could still fall apart, but right now, plans are for him to maybe come here to do his first feature film, which is way beyond anything I expected. I was expecting maybe Arkansas or, someplace close by, but yes, we may have one across the pond.
Awesome.
Coming. And so I just wanted to give y'all a bit of upbeat news to start the year.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I was kind of shocked. 18 months, I think that's not too bad.
No, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, is there anyone else who would like to address the council? Okay, if not, I will close citizen comments and move to item 5, city announcements, city staff announcements, and city events. Mr. Coons.
Mayor, just want to let everybody know, the filing period for the May 2021 municipal election will begin tomorrow, Wednesday, January 13th. Will run through February the 12th. See the city secretary for that. And also with that, in conjunction with that, City Hall will be reopened to the public starting tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Oop, go ahead.
Item 6.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
Oh, sorry.
Good morning, Mayor and Council, and Hillary will be right behind me. We did want to let everyone know that the public is invited to attend the Lions Den ribbon cutting on January 20th at 10 a.m. I know Mr. Wolf is here with us today, but we did want to recognize he and James for all of their efforts that they've put towards the renovations of Lions Den Park. It was a $489,000 investment. And the next steps that we have are to demo the pavilion by it and rebuild that. So the park will be open after the ribbon cutting, of course, with COVID protocols and all of that.
What's the time again?
I'm sorry?
What's the time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
on January 20th. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. The Orange Convention and Visitors Bureau will be hosting Friday Night Reels on Friday, February 5th at the City of Orange Boat Ramp. This will be a drive-in movie that's featuring the film Dirty Dancing. So we will not have food vendors out there this time around, but we do encourage everyone to bring a picnic, to pack some drinks and snacks, and to come enjoy this free event with your families. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's going to be cool, right by the river. Thank you. On item 6, presentation to Rita Monson, grants planner regarding certification of completion for subrecipient management for CDBG funds. And so this certificate of completion for the subrecipient management online exam is presented to Rita Monson for successfully completing the requirements of the online basics course and achieving a passing score on the course exam, Monday, 23rd November of 2020. This is the National Community Development Association in Washington, D.C. So congratulations, Ms. Rita.
I saw you.
I need my job security. I'm losing my job security.
No, you're not. I'm paying attention. You're training me.
Okay. We next have number 7. You want to speak or?
No, I think I'm next.
Oh, okay. Number 7 is a consent agenda. So Mr. Coons.
Mayor and council, we have discussed doing some agenda items as the consent agenda. Again, just to remind everybody, a consent agenda is something that, of course, you'd have to read all of the agenda items, but they can all be voted on at one time. Now, I will say if a council member would want to pull something from the consent agenda to be considered individually, certainly can. We had talked about this for a few months, but again, trying to get it kicked off again. As I understand, the Orange City Council used to do these. But again, today's a perfect example where there's 5 sets of minutes so that, again, you can read them all, but they can all be approved
At
by
one time.
one motion. You know, again, it'd be something like, I make the motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented. And then the second, and then just one vote to approve all 5.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Consent agenda number 7, A, October 13th, 2020, Planning and Zoning Commission Special Call Meeting Minutes. B, November 10th, 2020, Planning and Zoning Commission Special Call Workshop Minutes. Item 7C, November 10th, 2020, Orange Economic Development Corporation Meeting Minutes. 7D, December 8th, 2020, Regular City Council Meeting Minutes. And 7E, December 15th, 2020, Special Call City Council Meeting Minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll make a motion to approve A through E as they're read.
All right.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. And good job, Brad, because I had already forgot what he said on how to pass it, so thank you.
Attention to 'em.
8, public hearing. Conduct a public hearing to receive comments concerning the substantial amendment to the 5-year consolidated plan and the first year 2020 annual action plan of the City of Orange's Community Development Block Grant Program. This allows citizens or nonprofits who have applied for or requested funding to comment on the activities added to the 5-year consolidated plan and the second year 2020 annual action plan to prevent the spread of or assist those low, moderate income citizens who are affected by the coronavirus pandemic. Ms. Monson.
Yes, we had gotten round 1 of the COVID funds, and now we're in round 3. And we're going to be awarded $118,013.
Okay. Okay, so this is a public hearing to receive comments concerning the plan. If there's anyone who wishes to speak, please come forward. If not, we will close the public hearing. Thank you, Ms. Monson. Move on to item 9, final reading. Consider an ordinance amending certain portions of Appendix A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas pertaining to garbage and trash collection service. The first reading was December 8th, 2020. Ms. Zito.
Yes, good morning. This is the final reading of our ordinance to increase our sanitation rates slightly, 1.5%, due to our waste management contract increasing. I looked it up. It's 36 cents for a residential cart, 1 cart, and 46 cents for a commercial 1 cart. So the increase is slight, but we always increase our rates to coincide with our waste management rates.
All right. Okay, and this contract is for 2 years, I believe? Did we do it for 2 or 3?
2.
2?
Right.
Two.
Okay.
2 years.
Starting in the fall.
Right, okay. Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Zito. Item 9B, consider an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas, Chapter 8, Personnel and Administration, Article 8.1200, City Council Rules of Procedure, providing for a procedure for placement of items on the City Council agenda, providing an effective date, repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance, providing for a severability clause, and other matters. Mr. Coons.
Mayor, Council, again, we started this conversation last year and discussed a little bit more in December. The council, again, we need a policy that allows the mayor and the council to place items on the agenda. The council was agreeable to having either the mayor or any one council member place an agenda item on there. And the highlights are one individual is restricted to placing 2 agenda items on any regular city council meeting. And then also if something is voted down, unless there's some substantial changes, that they can't bring it back for 6 months.
Okay.
So again, this is the first reading. We'll read it again in January.
Also on this new procedure, is it my understanding that if a council member puts it on the agenda, then they will make the presentation? So like,
Yes, sir.
Like when Ms. Monson has one and I read the item and then say Ms. Monson,
Right.
it'll be council member will take it from there.
Right. Correct.
Thank you. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge,
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan,
Aye.
Ms. McKenna,
Aye.
Ms. Salter,
Aye.
Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. First reading, consider an ordinance of the City of Orange, Texas, amending certain portions of Chapter 8, Section 8.800 of the Code of Ordinances pertaining to the relocation of City Hall, updating the physical address only. Mr. Coombs.
Mayor, council, again, right before I got here, the City Hall physically relocated from Green Avenue to 16th Street. We found a couple of places in the ordinances that referenced City Hall means, and it had the physical location for that building. And so we just need to update it from that Green Avenue location to
To this one.
16th Street.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge,
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan,
Aye.
Ms. McKenna,
Aye.
Ms. Salter,
Aye.
and Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance passes. On to item 10, resolutions. First reading, consider a resolution approving an EDC infrastructure grant agreement with Tropical Vibes Daiquiris LLC at 1408 10th Street, Orange, Texas. Ms. Dallas.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. So this morning at the EDC meeting, we spoke about the $125,000 capital investment that Tropical Vibes was making, and this is just a resolution to approve the agreement for a $50,000 EDC incentive.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge,
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan,
Aye.
Ms. McKenna,
Aye.
Ms. Salter,
Aye.
Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, and congratulations to Tropical Vibes Daiquiris. For those who weren't here for the EDC meeting, the owner of Tropical Vibes Daiquiris is a former citizen of Orange, West Orange Star graduate that has decided to come back and establish a business here. And so we always love the big box businesses, but we also definitely appreciate and encourage entrepreneurship. So congratulations. Item 10B, consider a resolution approving an EDC infrastructure grant agreement with Tarver Performance Marine, LLC, 2112 DuPont Drive, Orange, Texas. Ms. Dallas.
Mayor Spears, to your point of local, this is also another local business. They are local residents. They grew up here, and they have taken a structure in Cove and renovated it. It was a $440,000 capital investment, and we are just asking that you approve the resolution of $125,000 EDC incentive.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge,
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan,
Aye.
Ms. McKenna,
Aye.
Ms. Salter,
Aye.
and Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Yes, this motion passes, and congratulations to them as well. Another young couple from here locally graduated, I think, from Little Cypress High School, and cleaning up the cove and helping us out, and it already looks 10 times better than it ever did, so congratulations. Item 10C, consider a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Civic Plus for the design and implementation of new City of Orange websites. Ms. Gravitt.
If you'd give it just a minute.
So, good morning, Mayor and Council. The City of Orange is in need of a redesigned and revised online presence for the main City of Orange website and 5 department websites. Staff advertised for proposals, and 3 were received. Upon review, 2 were deemed incomplete for missing documents, and staff suggests moving forward and partnering with Civic Plus. So, a little bit about the company Civic Plus. They have more than 20 years of experience in working with local governments. They have more than 350 employees, many with experience in local governments, and they've worked with more than 4,000 local governments across the United States and Canada. Their clients have been honored with more than 290 top website awards in their design portfolio. So Civic Plus has worked with Irving, Texas, which is an award-winning website,
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn County, Iowa, which is also an award-winning website, Lake Jackson, Texas.
I like their logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice.
It's on the screen too, guys.
and Mansfield, Texas. So Mansfield, Texas is a great example of what the city of Orange would receive with a package with Civic Plus. They have the premium department header package. So as you see, the large screen on the left is the main Mansfield, Texas website. The two smaller screens are their premium department header packages, which has one layout, which makes it all very concise and very streamlined throughout the city websites. And here is a short list of cities and counties that Civic Plus has worked with throughout the United States.
Wow.
So, and then a little bit about what's included with the package with Civic Plus. So a few key points that I would really like to point out is we would receive a 4-year website redesign in our 4th year in business with Civic Plus. So that would be a total redesign on the websites included with our package. We would have emergency notifications. So in the event of a boil water notice or a natural disaster or whatever it may be, we can send out notifications to the community and on the website to notify them of these topics. And we also would receive ADA compliance. So with that ADA compliance, anyone that is perhaps visually or hearing impaired, we are able to make accommodations for that disability on the website. We also have 24/7, 365 support with Civic Plus. So they have staff that's available to help us out anytime, any day. If there's an update or in the event of a natural disaster and we aren't able to get to a computer, they are more than happy to help us out with updates on that. We also have a predictive site search and log. So with that, whenever somebody searches in the website, we have a log of all of the searches. So we can go in, and if there's a topic that's searched more often, we can add that to the homepage so it's perhaps not searched within the website and it's right there as a shortcut. And a proposed timeline. So for the main City of Orange website and 5 department websites, which would be the CVB, the EDC, the library, the fire department, and the police department, would take anywhere from 18 to 32 weeks. So that's a 6-step process. And in that process, we actually have an educate step. So they'll have virtual training for staff, and we can have up to 8 staff members per day in those 2 days of virtual training to learn the back end of the website, to upload minutes and agendas, and to the calendar, and just our everyday city business. And that takes anywhere from 18 to 32 weeks for those 6 websites. And a pricing estimate. So year 1, which is a one-time and an annual fee, is $37,900, and year 2 and beyond for our annual fee would be $7,900. And I'm available for any questions that you may have.
So one of the questions I have is, so I've, several of the dispatchers and young ladies that work in our police department have asked about a page specifically for the police department, and the people in the fire department have asked about one, mainly because like let's say like during a hurricane or during an event where like the interstate shut down, they get bombarded with like all of these rumors and questions and things of that nature. So would this would help them to where something could be put out and it's like, this is what's really going on, right?
So and we can actually put an alert at the top of the website. So in the event that there is, a major traffic issue or something to that effect, we can put an alert on the top of the website. So as soon as they go to the main city page, they'll see that front and center.
Okay. Like I remember whenever the governor, I believe it was shutting down the interstate commerce or whatever, like they said they couldn't stop, like the phone was burning up, and then the state troopers didn't even know it was fixing to happen yet. So it was like, those are the kinds of things that instead of taking up a 911 call, we could prevent, and someone losing their life, this could deter that and give people information they need maybe quicker.
Absolutely. Then anyone that actually signs up for the alerts and notifications, so they will have to actually sign up for that, but we can send out an alert through that way to alert the public that something like that is going to happen at this time on this day or for whatever it may be.
Does this have a phone? So like you can get to it on your phone?
Yes.
And then as far as like meeting minutes, because I know we've all probably received complaints. People say, I can't see the video of the meetings.
Yes.
That will be accessible through here as well.
Yes, it will be very mobile compatible.
Ms. Kravitz, is this a budgeted item?
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
Okay.
One last question, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
So like if you do an event,
Mhm.
can you live stream on it? Or you don't know yet?
That I don't know, but I can certainly look into that.
Like, cause like if we were doing an event, instead of having to always use Facebook Live to be like,
Mhm.
hey, we're down here at the riverfront about to do the movie on February 5th. Is that possible to do like a live stream through it?
It does integrate social media platforms onto the
Okay.
website, so I can certainly check in and see if it would perhaps integrate live videos as well. I don't think that it would send out an alert like a live Facebook post does, but I can certainly
People
check
can
into
go
it and see what
if
they can
wanted
say.
to.
Mhm.
All right, any questions from council?
I do. As far as the alerts, any department can actually put an alert out, like the police department or the fire department?
So per department, anyone that has access to put updates on the website, they'll have access for their specific department. So we'll
Okay.
actually go in with Civic Plus and let them know what departments will have access to whatever it may be, but we can give access to the different departments to be able to send out alerts.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any questions from down here?
I don't
All right,
have any.
so do we, let's see, this is this is to consider.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion,
I second it. That's great.
especially it's already been budgeted and,
Mhm.
I mean, 37 may seem like a lot, but not for getting the
Not-
information to the people 24
Mhm.
hours a day.
Right.
Mhm.
And we need an updated website.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm happy to see this.
Yes. Okay. We have a motion
Second?
and a second, okay? Mr. Burge,
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan,
Aye.
Ms. McKenna,
Aye.
Ms. Salter,
Aye.
and Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Okay, also, one more thing about that is, the schools are always on our website. The elementary schools, like, when they're doing their history lessons, this would be even better
Mhm.
if maybe if you even had like a small section where it was like for the local
Mhm.
school districts where they could go and get the meeting info, because they all want to know how much we make. I don't know why kids want to know how much we make, but, you know, showing them how the council and the city works. that'd
And there will
cool
be
too.
blog sections where we can actually put in, we can write certain blogs and have that available for anybody to look up as well. So we could certainly do something like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the council members can reach out to their districts that way.
Mhm.
Cool, okay.
That's great.
All right, we're going to jump to item 11A, which is discussion and possible action regarding proposed paving and drainage improvements to the Riverside Pavilion. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor, Council, thank you. I wanted to report, and real pleased to report, that we have completed all of our contracts related to the street improvements for the bond program.
Oh, wow.
We had a budget of $3.2 million, and we brought everything in, even after adding a third phase to it. We're still under about $255,000.
Wow.
What I would like to do, and what we're planning on doing with your permission, is we want to reserve $110,000 of the $255 to be applied to Womack Road in conjunction with the Williams Brothers construction efforts along the interstate over the years have wore heavily on the use of that road, and we've cut a deal with them. We're working through an agreement to where we buy the material, provide for the material. The $110,000 is what we've estimated, and they will provide the labor and equipment, their equipment, to build the base back and place 2 inches of asphalt for about 3/4 of the length of that road. So we're working through an agreement. We don't want to let them off the hook too early.
Yeah.
They've got another contract that's going to be ongoing for about 3 years once they get environmental clearance to proceed on that last contract. They're still in a holding pattern, according to their project manager, who I spoke to just a few days ago. So that's what we'd like to do with 110 of the 255. The 140 theoretically after that, I want to spend on improvements in and around our new Riverside Pavilion. On the back side of the stage, which was not a part of the architectural contract, we want to improve the old broken up parking lot, a section of it. We can't do the whole thing. And then we want to redo a lot of the site work drainage where there's an old concrete gutter next to a bad-looking sidewalk. We want to take all that out and redo it.
Gotcha.
And so I would like to spend the 140 that's left over from street, move it over, and it's still street, so-called street drainage, but it's adjacent to the pavilion, which was another one of our bond program projects.
Gotcha.
So we're keeping it in the family, but I need your approval to do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that area definitely needed to be redone. That was
Yes,
one of the things that we talked about before we even started, was that it was gonna be nice to have the pavilion, but then if we had money to fix that, so that's
Correct.
great. Yes. Okay,
Okay, so that's,
okay, we have a motion from Ms. Salter,
Second.
second from Ms. Hennigan. Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
And Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, sir.
yes, sir.
That's great.
For those who haven't had a chance to go by and look at it yet, I mean, it's beautiful over there, and now this is gonna make it even better, so thank you.
Beautiful.
We're gonna jump back to 10D, which is consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Fitz and Shipman Incorporated for an amount not to exceed $14,870 for professional engineering services for the Riverside Pavilion pavement and drainage improvements. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor, this would be the surveying, the engineering, the detailed design, and the bidding of that project that I just described to make those improvements at the pavilion.
Okay, I'll make a
Okay.
motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Okay, on to item 10E, consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Schaumburg and Polk for an amount not to exceed $98,750 for professional engineering services for the rehabilitation of the Strickland Drive elevated storage tank. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor, for several years now in our annual budget and the enterprise fund budget, I've been asking, and with your approval, we've been receiving funds that we want to be dedicated to the rehabilitation of the Strickland Road Tower. So in 2020, you approved $275,000, 2021 budget year, another $275,000. CDBG in 2019 allowed $122,000 for this project, and CDBG in 2020 allowed another $50,000. So I now have a total of $722,000, and I've got the funds to do the tower. It's estimated somewhere around the $700,000 range, construction, engineering, everything related to it. And so this is the beginning of that project. This would allow us to bring in the engineer to assess any and everything that needs to be done to rehab the tower to keep it up to TCEQ standards. So we ask for your approval.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge,
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan,
Aye.
Ms. McKenna,
Aye.
Ms. Salter,
Aye.
and Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Thank you.
Okay, on to, now we're gonna skip 11A. We already covered that. Then 11B.
Mayor, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
If we can go to the addendum,
Oh,
10F.
I'm sorry, 10F. I'm sorry, y'all. 10F, the following item has been added to the January 12th, 2021 regular meeting of the Orange City Council agenda. Resolutions, consider a resolution awarding a pension administration services agreement to Lauterbach and Amen LLP for the administration of the Orange Fireman's Relief and Retirement Fund. Ms. Zito.
Yes, Mayor and Council. Right now, the Finance Department is responsible for the administration of the fireman's pension. It entails calculating their benefits, paying out their benefits, doing the reporting annually, the reporting quarterly. It's a lot to it. Last year, before budget, we discussed outsourcing this to alleviate some of the workload on the Finance Department. And so we did put it in the budget. It was approved in the budget. But now we're moving forward a little quicker because our current county clerk, Carol, is retiring next month. So we needed to move forward quickly to outsource this to make sure that we don't skip a beat. We don't want a fireman to miss anything. So we did an RFP, which we had already been working on. We just pulled the trigger a little quicker. We sent out many proposals, and we only received one back. which was a little disappointing. But this does happen to be a firm that I had researched already. Our investment advisor had recommended them in the first place, so I feel comfortable with this firm. This service will cost about $20,000 a year if we use all their services. It's kind of a piecemeal. You can have them do all of it, or you can have them do pieces. So before Carol leaves, we are going to evaluate if there's any of the pieces of the puzzle that we can still do in-house, even though we're going to be a little short-staffed for a while. So we're going to try to reduce that cost, but the most it would ever be is $20,000. So at this time, staff recommends that we award this pension administrative services contract to Lauterbach and Amen.
Okay.
It's just
I'll make a motion.
year contract? It's just 1 year?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, you have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
And Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now on to item 11B, discussion and possible action regarding creating an animal control supervisor position. Ms. Brown.
Mayor, Council, as you may or may not know, animal control is a extremely busy department, especially for just 2 people at this time. And when we've hired people out for that department, they're basically self-supervised. They're under the direct supervision of the fire department, with me being their direct supervisor, which, you know, between hurricanes and emergency management sometimes can be a little bit tasking. So we're asking you to consider making this supervisor position, which will actually give that department 3 people. And I think we can serve the citizens better and make that department more efficient for us.
I think that's necessary. You have enough on your plate.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
And Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you.
Got to keep the dogs off the street. Item 11C, consider a motion approving action taken by the Orange EDC in the form of a motion of intent approving an EDC incentive for Luigi's at 3108 Edgar Brown Drive, Orange, Texas 77630 for eligible infrastructure improvements in an amount not to exceed $139,000. Mr. Trahan.
Yes, Mayor and Council, the first thing I'd like to do is acknowledge Ms. Ida Shalso, who is with us today from the Chamber, President and CEO. I received an incoming call from her with a heads up that I would be getting contacted by the owner of Luigi's considering a relocation. So that actually began the process. And of course, we had already mentioned earlier that City Manager Mike Stelly had also gotten a phone call from the City Administrator, Police Chief at West Orange, Mike Stelly, kind of alerting us so we could be prepared for it. So basically it led to a relocation in the former Mazzio's location on Edgar Brown Drive. And the project owner, Mr. Armand, basically committed to a $464,000 capital investment. Basically, there will be $139,000 EDC incentive, which includes $68,000 for the HVAC system, air conditioning, heating, $45,000 for the roofing project, and an additional $26,000 for the commercial vent hood purchase and installation that will go into the kitchen. So basically, we've been able to work with this project owner in a building that had become vacant and severely damaged by the hurricanes, and now we're anticipating a potential opening late January, early February of a business that this community was already aware of. So this is an action to formally approve the action taken by the EDC earlier, which will kick off the 60-day waiting period as we work toward the development agreement. I'll turn it back over to you, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, any questions from council?
No questions.
Okay. We spoke about this earlier in the EDC meeting, and I think it's a wonderful venture, and we're happy to have them in the city of Orange. Thank you, Ms. Ida, for always supporting us and helping us. And this is a wonderful event because they're coming over to our city and establishing a new business, and not only helping us to rehab an old building, but to give people a little bit more, in my opinion, more parking for such a great restaurant establishment, so I support it. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
And Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Trahan. Motion passes. Item 12A, City Manager Report.
Mayor, the only thing, just want to remind everybody that this coming Monday is Martin Luther King Day, and with that, the city offices will be closed for the day.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Coons. City Council report, starting at my left, Mr. Birch.
I have nothing to report.
Okay.
I received a request about how to go about getting speed bumps in the neighborhood of Hillbrook from parents in that neighborhood that are having problems with people speeding. So I promised I would find out what they need to do. So if somebody would just let me know, I'll pass it on to them. And then also a citizen, Bradley Manshak, contacted me about the sign in front of the old fire department on Green Avenue, the Welcome to Orange, Texas sign. Wanting to know if we were going to light that up once we get everything finished. So that's a concern out there, wondering how that's going to look, and so I'm just passing it on. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hennigan. Ms. McKenna?
Just want to say Happy New Year to everybody and Happy Martin Luther King Day.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Salter?
No report.
No report. Mr. Childs?
No report.
Okay. I would like to bring up one thing from the old 2020 and then talk about the new year real quick. Before, there was an article that was written concerning the tearing down of the Cove School. And that project is definitely a relief for not only the citizens of Cove, but for those of us on council who have received many text messages, phone calls about the building. So that was a wonderful project. And thank you to city staff for working that out, and to Mr. Goodson for working that out with as our lawyer team. In an interview that was done by Mr. Knopf, and I spoke with him before the meeting, there was a little bit of some uncertainty and confusion that may have been taken by the citizens in that area. Mr. Knopf's job and the staff's job is to always give us information that we need to know on the possibilities of what could happen. Council had spoken several times about the potential to create a park in that area. And at this time, that's what we still would like to pursue, is a park for that area. And in his interview, it was stated that, you know, it could be sold to a new business. And so some people ran with that and act like we were, in another word, liars, or already changing our story. And that's not true. Mr. Kelvin's doing his job on alerting us to what all the possibilities of that piece of property can be. That's his job. He's done an amazing You've done an amazing job at doing that. And so I just want the public to know that no one's changed their minds. It hasn't even been talked about on another level yet. But our first idea or opinion would be to place a park there for the citizens to enjoy. And so I appreciate him doing the interview, but I also don't like it when people attack the staff and employees who are working very hard to provide a better opportunity for the community. So I just wanted to say that. With that being said, as we step into the new year, I always like to talk for just a minute about what direction I think we should go in, or I've prayed a lot about this, and I think that with COVID and with all the things that we've experienced in 2020, last year's motto was to continue or finish what we started, appreciate what we have, and I still think that 2021 is still in that same a realm of what we should focus on. Is we have so many projects that we began and we started several years ago that we haven't had the chance to complete because we have so many, and that's a blessing. But in the meantime, I don't think that we are going to push very heavily for new projects to throw on staff. If things arise, if new businesses come, we are more than happy to have them. But I think that right now we should continue to appreciate the things that God has given us here, and also to finish the things that He has given us the ideas and the funding to bring about for the community. So that's where I think we should go. I also want to commission the council members to continue to work within your areas, reach out to the citizens in your areas, and help them find projects that we can do on our own as a people, so that we can have more buy-in, a stronger interaction with the people, and continue to grow Orange and be better than it was the day before. So I thank you all. I thank you all for being here. I think that 2021 is a year of promise, is that a year of hope, And 2020 was a refining process. Before the children of Israel could be blessed by the Lord, they had to go through some things. And I think that we have done the same thing here. The world as a whole has had to go through a refining process, but now greater things are to come. So with that being said, I'd like to adjourn to close executive session. Deliberation with city attorney pursuant to chapter 551 of the government code. Deliberation with legal counsel pursuant to the Texas government code regarding pending or contemplated litigation as it pertains to COVID-19. And deliberation with legal counsel pursuant to the Texas government code for personnel matters with the city attorney. If I don't think anybody wants to stand outside, so I think you should go in the library, and we will let you know when we reconvene. Thank you. Reconvene in open session. Take action as necessary regarding items 13.1A and 13.2A above. There's no action to be taken. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge.
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan.
Aye.
Ms. McKenna.
Aye.
Ms. Salter.
Aye.
Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Now I gotta stay behind and sign.